Hello, everyone. I'm Heather Fleming, founder of Conscious Nutrition, and now the 3 steps to make any nutrition plan work for you. And today we'll be sharing step 2 of Feel, Meal, Heal, and we'll be going over the Conscious Nutrition food tree. And I can't wait to share it with you while I'm here in Kauai on the Olana Organic Farm, surrounded by beautiful fruit trees. So let's get started. You've downloaded your guide already and you've reviewed step 1 of Feel, and now you're diving in step 2 of Meal. And we'll be taking a look at the different meal types first, and then I'll go over the food tree. So what we did is we took the food tree and we broke it down into some of the most common nutrition modalities out there. So we call them protein meals. So that's that chicken leg and some little beans there. And protein meals are the right side of the conscious nutrition food tree. So it goes vegetables, protein, healthy fats, and that's what we label protein meals. And then we have starch meals are on the left side over here of the conscious nutrition food tree. And this is vegetables, starch, fat. Then we call the one with the fish here, and fish and the grain, combined meals. And that's when you combine the whole tree, especially protein and starches together. So like meat and potatoes, right? Then our 4th meal is vegan meals, which you just combine veggies and fat, no starch or protein. Even though we have vegetarian options in the protein and starch section, I wanted to give us a little bit extra edge and just call them vegan meals and just do vegetables and fats, okay? All right. So now that you know the different meal types, what we suggest is to try to rotate these different meal types, different times of the day, depending on your energy. And if you keep staying tuned with us, we're going to give you more cues on when's a good time to add these certain meals, what type of emotions you're having, some physical sensations, cravings, things like that. All right. So now we're going to dive into the logistics of the tree. So the trunk of the tree is vegetables. As a nutritionist, I think I'd get fired not having that be the trunk of the tree. And I wanted to kind of give us a little bit of an edge and have us try things outside the box, such as kimchi, sauerkraut, sprouts, kelp, sea vegetables, tons of different minerals there. The kimchi and the sauerkraut are wonderful for digestion, even having a little bite as a snack or with your meals, or you don't want to do it every day, every other day or every third day. It's a great way to keep your gut health really wonderful. Don't worry about specifics. I know there's so many diets out there that say don't eat these vegetables, they're high in sugar. I'll be honest, I haven't seen many people come to me with, overeating vegetables. There are a few you can be a little more aware of, some nightshade varieties such as eggplant and green peppers. I can see some people have some digestive difficulties with those, especially with our lifestyle. If we already have inflammation, then those can cause a little bit more disruption. All right, then we'll go over to the protein branch over here. Salmon, of course, wild salmon is best. We could put that in there. Grass-fed beef, dark meat poultry. I put dark meat poultry in here just because I definitely have seen people overeating white meat, and dark meat has the blood through there. It's the muscles of the thighs of the chicken. And I tend to see a lot of my clients like the taste of that better, but we got programmed with marketing to like white meat chicken. So if you do not like the taste of dark meat, don't force yourself or anything. But if you do, enjoy. Low mercury white fish, you can check with your in your area to see what the low mercury white fish is. You can Google or check in with your local market. Duck, buffalo, lamb, all of these meats have a lot of different nutritional value, and I want us to have a little variety in our life. Some protein powders here, especially if you're a vegetarian. My favorites are vegan-based, vegetable-based, so hemp, brown rice, pea protein, and you can rotate those too. And then I put beans and lentils over here. Beans and lentils are half starch, half protein, but I was seeing a lot of my vegetarian clients having compromised digestion from always mixing their beans and rice together. Because again, if you just approach this from your intellect, we have to have all of our amino acids. So everyone was eating them together, which is beautiful. But when I had my clients do the protein side, so if they did vegetables, beans, and healthy fat for lunch, and then did vegetables, rice, and fats for dinner, they felt wonderful. So Don't try to force things, because again, it's just, that's the science trying to give you just exact, and I want you to be more connected with your body. So try separating your beans and lentils from the rice too, and see how you feel. There might be times you can mix them together. There's one meal I love called khichdi that you mix them together, and that's wonderful. But there might be times you want to separate them. And then I didn't spread the whole tree with the word organic, because I didn't want people to feel like, oh, if I can't buy it organic, I'm not going to have it. But if you can pay the extra buck, I would recommend organic free range eggs too, and trust where you get your resources also, just the nutritional value. And again, we're getting compromised with our soil getting depleted from nutrition. And then of course, what the chickens are eating, it just goes on down the line. And then we're getting malnourished because we're not getting the things we need. And then, like I said, occasionally white meat, poultry, and game meat, just because it can be a little harder to digest. And I wasn't seeing my clients feeling great after they ate white meat chicken. So play around with it. Again, this is not an all or none approach. Then we'll go up to the healthy fats. Look how big that branch is. All right, so healthy fats, where it's at, is one of my favorite sayings. We all got, what was it, the 80s? We all got stuck on the non-fat diet train. I think I ate like those packages of Snackwells back in the day. Oh, and my stomach always hurt. So we're bringing fat back, okay? So you have the whole raw nuts and seeds section. So chia seeds, coconut, sesame, enjoy. You can soak your nuts and seeds too, for better digestive health. And then I have nut butters there too. And I put a few others in there. Tahini is sesame seed butter. Macadamia nut butter is delicious. Fresh cashew butter is amazing too. You can make them in your Vitamix. Other healthy fats are avocados and fish oil up there. I would recommend just, really trusting your source for fish oil too. And then avocados, we've been eating them. We've been making chocolate pudding out of them. So raw cacao, avocados, and coconut milk. I've definitely had my fill of avocados. And then I have my cooking oils here. Coconut, ghee, and avocado oil are best to cook with a higher heat point. And then salad oils are not recommended to cook with. So flax, walnut, sesame seed. And then I did put extra virgin olive oil there. I pretend I want to be a chef, but I can tend to overheat my olive oil, and that is really challenging and can turn your healthy fats rancid. So I drizzle it on the end, or if you're an amazing chef, you can cook for all of us. And we trust how you beautifully cook with your olive oil. And then let's go to the starch branch here. So starches, we have quinoa, brown rice, sweet potatoes, yams, red potatoes. I'm not going to throw potatoes under the bus. I've seen some of my clients do great with potatoes. I put things on here that I have seen more than 50% of people do well with. That's how I judged what went on the tree. So potatoes, I feel great at potatoes. Do we need to eat them every day? Probably not. We don't need to eat anything every day except maybe vegetables and a few fruits here and there. So just be careful of how your mind is looking at this too. And then I have the squash family here. That would probably be my favorite starch for all of us. Acorn, yellow, squash, spaghetti, and then the pumpkin would be great to put on here too. Again, beans and lentils are half starch too. So if you're not wanting to put a lot of starch in your diet, but you want to try beans and lentils, that's great. And then you can mix those with the protein side of the tree too. And then occasionally, as a person who loves some baked goods, I had to put some things on here. Sprouted grain, wheat, and cereal, brown rice flour, gluten-free options, oatmeal, corn tortillas, rice and nut crackers too. I put them under occasionally just because I want us to be more conscious, that's my business name, of how much we're intaking, okay? Just because we can tend to go into autopilot with our grocery shopping, and then I'll be like, did I just eat corn tortillas every day, or did I just eat sprouted bread every day? Or gluten-free bread would be fine here too. Just wanting to give us that chance to, it's not focusing on what we're eating, it's focusing on what we're not eating. So if I tend to overeat corn tortillas or grains or gluten-free bread, I might not be getting some other foods that will be necessary for me to get my vitamins and minerals. All right, since we have the cute apple up here, fruit kind of is hanging alone. Most fruits are great alone. Some, if you're really sensitive with your blood sugar, I have it over here by the fat to help you remember to put it in with some healthy fats. The fruits that I recommend alone are melons and high water content fruits and high sugar fruits. So like grapes would be one. They might not taste as well with nuts. Or you can eat the fruit and then wait about 20 or 30 minutes and then have a few nuts if you need it, or a healthy fat. Otherwise, right now in Hawaii, we're eating fruit alone with a little lime on it, and it's delicious because it is hot and humid here too. So fruit is wonderful alone or complemented with a healthy fat over here with that branch. All right, well, we'll stick up here with alcohol. Alcohol would be another sugar too. I put it on this side of the tree just so we weren't toppling the tree over with too many fruits, starches. I tend to see people want to do that. So that would be a lot of carbohydrates, so the tree wouldn't be as balanced. So ideally, alcohol would be better with, a little bit of nuts as a snack, like don't they put peanuts on the bar, or with a protein meal too. So if I was going out for wine with my friends, I wouldn't have a big bowl of fruit and a big thing of potatoes and alcohol. That would be a lot for your body, maybe to break down. And then I have my cute goat over here too, dairy. So dairy, I like goat or some fermented or raw cheeses or fermented dairies. If you're not eating dairy, that's fine. I just wanted people to be more connected with it. So dairy would go great, like some feta on top of a salad over here with salmon and some avocado or a beautiful dressing. So that would be beautiful. I tend to see we all love comfort food and we mix the dairy with the starch. And again, that would topple the tree over a little bit. So why I have the tree laid out the way it is to help us with digestion. So when we separate the proteins and starches, it actually can be broken down better in our stomach. So we have stomach acid, and when we eat protein, we need a little bit more acid. And when we tend to over consume, that acid then doesn't break down the food well. So it dumps into the small intestine, fermenting, and that's where we get heartburn, bloating, indigestion, constipation, diarrhea. So all I'm trying to do is help us kind of navigate and try different meal types to see if that supports our digestion. You should feel more energy after you eat. Maybe your stomach feels flatter. You don't want to feel tired or craving sugar. If you tend to do that, it might have not been the right meal type, or there could be some other things going on too. But then I would practice these different meal types. So if you always eat a combined meal for lunch and then you want to take a nap at 3 o'clock, I would recommend to try either a protein, starch, or vegan meal for lunch, again, depending on your activity level and body type, and see how you feel. See if that helps you with that 3 o'clock energy dip. All right, so try to print this out and have it handy on your fridge, have it on your phone when you go grocery shopping or out to eat. And we do seasonal programs throughout the year. They're called resets and jump starts. And what we do is we experiment with these different meal types, and we take out some foods that maybe are a little more congesting for a while, bring them in, and you start to learn what meal types your body likes. So you know that feeling when you eat a big meal at night with friends and then you wake up and sometimes you're not hungry or sometimes you're starving? Those are cues that you can start to build from. So if you're starving, you could eat a bigger meal that next morning. You could either have another combined meal if you want, or have a protein or a starch meal. But if you wake up not hungry, I suggest to try a vegan meal and bring a snack, and so you feel safe and supported, and see how your digestion goes. So when we were hunters and gatherers, we didn't have all this food available to us. So we ate rhythmically like this. We ate in a rhythm, and we had to kind of figure out our flow. So that's the flow I want for you. And I'm so excited for you to keep practicing. So step 1, feel. Step 2, meal. And then step 3, heal. More information to come. Let us know if you have any questions, and happy meal planning. All right. Aloha.